I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up. Because I realized what was living behind that boy's eyes was pure and simply evil. The words of Dr. Samuel Loomis. And what started the announcement that was announced over the weekend at Scare LA of Halloween. Brought back since 2009 to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood. And I'm going to break down a couple tidbits from this maze. It sounds a lot like the same maze that we had last year in Orlando, but technically that's incorrect because the maze, The Life and Crimes of Michael Myers in 2009, was basically given to us, in essence, in last year's event, and we pretty much gave it back to the person that gave it to us. The Indian giver thing we talked about from earlier on in speculation. So, it sounds a lot like it's going to be something that I'm very familiar with. And we're going to talk about some of the details that are going to be going out with the maze. Of course, it's not a video unless I scratch my eyes. Construction is taking place right now in the Parisian Courtyard. It's the top deck of the park. It is the Myers house. It looks a lot bigger than the Myers house we had in Orlando, but it is the Myers house. It's based on the original film in 1978. Now, other movies in the franchise are spread between multiple studios. But there's going to be homages to Season of the Witch, and characters, and even the classic Silver Shamrock commercial. Because John Murdy loves it, because everyone should. The maze will be bookended with the Myers house. But when you see it the second time, it's going to look a lot more decrepit. And it will end up looking like what it truly is, which is the ultimate haunted house. See, the voice of Dr. Loomis will actually guide you through the entire maze. And based upon my personal speculation, I'm going to guess the voice of Dr. Loomis is either going to be actual audio from the film, or it's going to be John Murdy himself. That's speculation. I don't know anything to whether it's true or whether it's not, and we won't know anything until opening night. Or preview night, we'll actually know, because people will be able to see it. Now, you actually get to see Dr. Loomis confront Michael towards the end. The scene that we had in our finale last year. Now, the original title for this maze was called The Ghost of Michael Myers. But Michael's not really a ghost, but does have a lot of paranormal qualities. All the classic kills you want to expect, like the strangulation with the phone cord when he's in the ghost form, and even using the literal Pepper's Ghost effect to have Michael appear and disappear in a matter of seconds. You're going to see the ghosts in a lot more forms than you did previously. It's going to take you to places that the film didn't, kind of like Michael's bedroom. Yeah, we're actually going to see the place where Michael slept at night when he was thinking about ways he could torture and maim his victims. There's also going to be a very disgusting smell. Now, for those of you, I don't know who wants to do this, but for those of you that want to smell the taste of dog meat, you're going to get to inside this maze. The olfactory effects will definitely be in effect. And basically, it's the he got hungry scene, where apparently it happens where he eats the dog. And there was a finale for this maze that is going to completely take you out of what you've been going through previously. It says, you can't kill the boogeyman. Well, there was a scene last year in the middle of our maze in Orlando that showcased a bunch of Michael mannequins with a couple of characters sprinkled throughout, so you don't know who's real and who's not. And obviously this was a pitch black room with strobe lights going off, disorienting you in all the right ways. He says that they built a scale model and then a full-size mock-up to test the idea. kind of a nod from Orson Welles. He's not going to tell us anything more than that. He's going to get you. He's going to get you. He's going to get you. The boogeyman is coming. And Larry Bones himself did create a much more exact replica of the infamous mask. And that's going to be showcased inside the maze as well. All of this and more will be featured in the latest announcement for Halloween Horror Nights 2015. Halloween, Michael Myers Comes Home. Now, the name I'm not too big on. I really haven't been majorly big on the actual, like, announcement taglines, I guess you would say. Not the actual headline, like, what it's called, but, like, the stuff underneath it. I've just not really been a big fan. Like, Maze of Madness didn't really grab me. I mean, Insidious is fine. I mean, it fits Return of the Further. And The Walking Dead, and just, it is what it is. That's what I should call it, The Walking Dead. It is what it is. Michael Myers Comes Home seems a tiny bit redundant, and it seems like there's too many words here. But then again, Hollywood is known for having a lot of words in their maze descriptions. So, this is a great announcement for Hollywood, and a great announcement for anyone that's lucky enough to be able to attend their event this year. Halloween, of course, hasn't been a maze since 2009, and this is a very welcome return for Michael Myers. Got a huge pop when it was announced at Scare LA, and deservingly so, and Malik Akkad came out, much to a lot of people's not surprise, to be the special guest to announce the maze itself. It sounds to me like anybody that got to experience it in Orlando is going to be very at home in this maze this coming year. And for those of you that did experience the 2009 maze, they're probably going to feel a little bit more at home. But there's going to be a lot of different things thrown in, and I'm sure John Murdy and Chris Williams and the creative team and Hollywood will be able to get something different, yet something similar at the same time. It looks like it's going to be a really entertaining maze. Something I'd love to see in person, because Halloween last year was my favorite maze of Orlando's event. And it is basically tied with An American Werewolf in London, being those two my favorite mazes I've ever been through. Now, the rumor, and soon to be confirmed, that we are getting An American Werewolf in London back lets me know that I'm going to get to hit my favorite houses like Bing Bang Boom every single year. And if any rumor comes true that Halloween comes back to Orlando in 2016, which it might, then there's a good possibility in 2013 I got to do Werewolf, 2014 I got to do Halloween, 2015 I got to do Werewolf, and 2016 I got to do Halloween. Completely different, but still similar, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So that's what we've got right now. There was a short, I do mean a short announcement of ticket prices, but quickly taken off. So still a lot of question marks surround the ticket prices for the event. There are 2 mazes left to be announced. They do not have code names. One does not have a code name, the other one does, obviously. The Outside the Box property, which is 1967, and that should be announced sooner rather than later. We also have the announcement of a maze from a previous year, and by previous year I mean last year, that is rumored to be coming back in a different capacity. And on top of that, there's also the announcement of the Terror Tram, which apparently has its own announcement video that's already been filmed, and I'm very curious to see how that works out. Especially being, this is something I wanted to see at the Terror Tram a couple years ago, did not happen, so I'm really curious to see how they can pull this off. Since they have nothing to promote on it, it's just something that's kind of there. So, that's what we've got for Halloween. Like I said, I'm very jealous of anyone that gets to go through this maze this year. There's a lot of really awesome things about it. Obviously, Halloween is 1A and 1B with Werewolf, my favorite maze I've ever been through in my entire Halloween Horror Nights going life. And I'd love to be able to see it again. And unless somehow, some way, a miracle happens and I win that Crimson Peak contest with Fandango, then there's no way I'm seeing Hollywood this year, which is a shame. So, but it's nice because a little bit of Hollywood's coming to me, because Thrill Seeker Network, as well as my good friends Tristan, HHN Fans 16, as well as my friend James, HHN Updated 1, they will be going with a former Halloween Horror Nights updater, which is Rowley. He will be joining all of them, so all four of them, all four members of California Halloween Horror Nights Updaters will be joining me in Orlando this year for a week, so I'm looking forward to that. Should be an awesome blasty blast, very excited to see that, and it's going to be interesting to see Tristan's first time going through Orlando, not just Halloween Horror Nights, but Orlando period. This is going to be awesome. It's nice to see somebody seeing the event, seeing the park for the first time. It's going to be able to see it in a whole different light, a light that I haven't seen since I first stepped foot in Halloween Horror Nights in 2013, because 2012 was obviously a bust. So that's what we've got for this week. Halloween Horror Nights Popcast is coming the second that we get an announcement from Orlando. There will be a Halloween Horror Nights Popcast with the usual suspects, and who knows, maybe there's going to be a few special guests as well. I found out there could be 10 people in a Google Hangout, so we're going to stretch that to the limit, as always. So yes, that will be coming up very soon. I will be a guest on the Horror Nights Updaters podcast very soon. Details forthcoming. And I will be guesting as well on Alex Show Official's podcast coming up on August 15th. So information is going to be on my Twitter. And as always, I will say, if you want to follow Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood on Twitter, you're more than welcome to do. It is @HorrorNights, and that is from the mouth of John Murdy and the creative team in Hollywood. While you're there, you can send me a tweet if you'd like, and you can follow me. It's @SirOwenDisney. While you're at it, you can like our Facebook fan page here on Pop. It is Sir Owen Disney Pop, or search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. While you're at it, you can also find all the Halloween Horror Nights content on Pop. It's available on moviepilot.com/Sir Owen Disney. And if you have iTunes and an iOS-capable device, you're more than welcome to get our brand new app. We have an app here on Pop, and if you go to iTunes and search for Sir Owen Disney, you can get all the convenience of Pop without having to go to a desktop. You can get it on your iPhone or your iPod or your iPad or anything with the word I involved in it, obviously with a lowercase. So that's what we've got. And also, before I go, I do want to shout out a lot of the really awesome Halloween Horror Nights updaters, like HHN Phantom, HHN Fanboy, my friend Aaron, First Class Horror, my friend David, the Crazy Englishman, representing the Horror Nights Updaters, which their name is actually Horror Nights Updaters, as well as my other friends in the Horror Nights Updaters, the Red Steel TV, which is my friend Aaron, as well as Neil, UKHHN, my friend Vic, Dr. Emmett Brown 1, my friend John, Psychomassacre Films, my friend Tristan, HHN Fan 16, my friend James, HHN Updated 1, and my good friends at Thrill Seeker Network. So yeah, check out all those awesome channels and check out their videos, linked here on the bottom of the description, as always. So that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I gotta say about that.